Hello and welcome to the Bike Century. My name's Ben and today I'm going to be showing you around this absolutely awesome KTM 1290 Super Adventure. Now this is a bike that was built predominantly to take a slice of the pie away from BMW's R1250 GS Adventure, and it definitely does that for me, but it adds something just a little bit different, a little bit of quirkiness, different styling, and it's a very, very cool looking bike, you have to say. Even if you're a BMW rider, this is a fantastic looking bike. It's a very, very big bike, I must say. It's quite tall, as you'd expect for any kind of off-road style adventure bike. But despite its size, it's very well balanced. So actually pushing it around the showroom in here, it feels like a much smaller bike. It feels very light. So that I think is a testament to, you know, KTM's sort of build design. As I say, it maneuvers around like a very light bike despite its actual physical weight. This is a 2019 69 plate bike. It's done 4,100 miles from new, and it's got every conceivable option on it that you can think of. So I'll try and highlight that as I go around and look at the bike. So starting at the front, we've got these lightweight wheels, 310mm Brembo discs and 4-pot Brembo radially mounted calipers, and unusually upside down forks. I'll explain why in just a second when we come to the electronics. Really good tyres, fantastic front end, obviously ABS. We've got braided lines on the front as well. It's got everything you need. This particular bike's also got a pyramid fender extender. It's also got the bash plate as well in front of the exhaust, as you can see. That is just a plastic one. Some people do put a metal one on there if they're planning to go off-road, but for the most part I think most people will probably stay on road and just do touring with these style of bikes. But nonetheless, the extended fender just helps to protect the exhaust from all the dirt and mud and stuff like that you get on the roads. As a pan up, you'll also see that the bike has got engine frame guard protectors. There's a couple of sort of anodized KTM parts there, just covering up the frame holes, which look very nice. Overall, the bike is in fantastic condition, as you'd expect for a bike that's only done 4,000 miles, only just over a year old. It's in very, very good condition. There's no marks, scratches, scuffs or anything like that. It is, for all intensive purposes, as new. Obviously, it's got a centre stand fitted. You wouldn't want a bike like this without one, especially one that's chain driven. You'd never be able to get the back end up to clean and lubricate the chain. So centre stand, and again, being quite balanced, it's actually quite easy to get on a centre stand. I'm only 5'10", and I've got particularly short legs, so actually I found it quite easy to get on the centre stand, so that's a very good thing. The bike is fitted with the KTM heated seats, front and rear. We do have the original seats as well if you wanted to refit them. Obviously the rider's controls are on the front controls and the pillion controls are just here behind the boxes. Obviously the bike is fitted with the genuine KTM boxes, which are quite deep, more than enough for you to do a trip with. But if you did want a top box, I'm sure we would be able to supply something as well. Coming around the front, you'll notice that the bike has got hand guards. That's something that all adventure bikes should absolutely have. The bike is also fitted with heated grips and a much taller screen. And again, we do have all the original parts for the bike as well, if you ever wanted to fit it. We've got really nice daytime running lights on these. We've got LED indicators, everything you'd expect for a bike of this sort of price point. Again, down on this side, it's very much the same. Obviously, you can see the ABS sensors on the front wheel there. You can see that everything on this side is in very good condition. Again, no signs of any drops, bangs or scrapes of any kind on this bike. It's in really, really nice condition. Obviously, these bikes, you may or may not know, come with a key, but they are keyless as such. So the key looks just like that. So you can keep it in your pocket, nice and easy. Obviously, when it comes to starting the ignition, it's just on the ignition button there. There's a couple of little bits to point out here as well. So the previous owner has left the luggage mount here. So if you wanted to, you could put the luggage mount back on there. Obviously, we've got adjustable bars. We've got Brembo master cylinders. We've got Brembo clutch cylinder. You know, the works. Everything is properly branded up. You'll see that the suspension there has got some electronics feeding to it, and I'll talk to you about that in a second. And also the previous owner has left the TomTom mount on here as well. So you are literally ready to go. You just need to buy your TomTom, stick it on there, and you're ready to go touring. So let's turn the ignition on. So as has been the case for a couple of years now with KTM's, full colour TFT dash, which is a really nice one actually. It's a really easy bike to get to grips with on the electronic side. All of your electronics are controlled from the left hand side here, so you can cycle through. Obviously you can see you got your cruise control on there as well, and just below the dash there's a 12-volt socket if you wanted to put a phone charger in there or something like that. So I mentioned the suspension. You can obviously set things like the suspension up electronically using these controls on the left hand side. You can go in and select all the different things you want. Now the electronic suspension is quite intelligent, so you can just change the ride height along with the riding modes. So for example, if you wanted a softer ride, you could change the engine mode, and all of the predetermined settings for the suspension change as well. You can also go in and individually dial the suspension in for your personal needs, or you can tell the bike how much you're carrying. So if you're carrying a pillion and you're fully loaded with luggage, you can tell the bike that, and it will automatically adjust your suspension settings to suit. This bike does have ride height adjustment as well, which it definitely needs, because for people like myself, I'm 5'10" with a short inner leg. I am on tippy toes with this bike. But again, I'll come back to the weight, because it's you know, it's not top heavy, it's quite well balanced. Actually, it's very stable, even if you are just on tippy toes. So don't be put off if you're around my sort of height. You can adjust the suspension. It's on quite a tall setting at the moment. So in terms of the display, obviously you've got all your different rider modes here. It tells you what traction control modes you've got. The bike has got a quick shifter, so it tells you what modes you're in there. What your dampening is set to. Obviously you've got a gear indicator here, your revs and your speed, and there's some different settings that you can put into there as well. Up here we've got your trips, so you can see the mileage there. It's done 4,842 miles from new. Obviously you can see your battery voltage, all of your temperatures, and the bike does have tyre pressure sensors as well. So everything that you would absolutely want to go touring with is on this bike already. You don't need to do anything to it. Just put fuel in it and you are ready to go touring across Europe, or go and do the NC 500 or whatever you want to do. All right, let's give her a start up. So one thing you notice a lot with any of these bikes now that have got electronic mode selections and engine maps and stuff like that, is the difference it makes to the throttle response. When you've got this bike in comfort, you really notice a much smoother, more progressive throttle, because of course these are fly-by-wire. So gone are the days where you had, you know, cables going down to the engine to pull everything. Now everything goes into an ECU and is controlled via servo. So when you change these maps, not only does it obviously change the suspension, the engine power settings and stuff like that, but it also changes the throttle response. And just then revving the bike, you can really feel how nice and smooth and silky the engine actually is. It's really cool. And the engine itself is a fantastic one. So it's just over 1300 cc's. I think it's 1301 cc's, 150 plus horsepower, which is a fantastic amount for this bike. Specifically if you were putting pillion and luggage on the back and going touring, it's a nice amount of power to have, but not intimidating to ride. So fantastic bit of kit. I highly recommend this if you're also looking at something like a BMW R1250 GS. Come and have a look at it. Don't be put off by the seat height, because as I said, it's got electronic suspension and you can adjust it. All of our bikes come with free UK delivery. This bike will come with all of its original parts as well. We offer a 3-month bumper to bumper warranty, as it were. We offer finance, and we do offer part exchange as well. So if those are things that you're interested in, or you've got any general questions about the bike, please feel free to reach out. We've got WhatsApp, we've got all the social medias, we've got live chat, and of course you can pop into the showroom and have a conversation, try the bike on for size. That's it for me. Thank you very much for watching, and I look forward to speaking to you soon. Take care.